Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the weekend video update for full members of bullwaves.org. Right. Okay. I want to get straight into it. I'm going to start with the Dow this weekend. This is the 30-minute Dow chart. You're used to looking at this now for a while. Today was an interesting day, I've got to say. This collapse that we had yesterday, this real impulsive decline, has kind of shifted the goalposts a little bit in favor of an immediately more bearish wave count. I was contemplating this kind of large flat correction to the upside to hit resistance here at 22,000 again. I think I pretty much abandoned that at this stage. It's coming up to 6 o'clock on Friday evening here, and we've had a bounce off the lows, but I can pretty much count 5 waves down here, which I've labeled wave 1. Now what's possible is we've had a 1, 2 and a 1, and what we should get next is a bounce into wave 2, probably up into resistance here. The wave 1 low there was 21,815, so 21,800 or so in the cash market. So if we get a 3-wave rally into meet that that resistance there again, about 21,800, well then we are looking, we're looking pretty damn bearish, to be honest. It's one to watch out for. If we go to the 4-hour chart, you can see here the decline so far. Well, so far we can say that this is 3 waves, but given the fact that we're kind of looking for a top anyway, it's kind of wise to be aware that this could be a topping process unfolding before our eyes. So what we could be getting here is, 1 2 1 2 to break out into a 3rd wave, and we get a larger move down into this neckline here. The neckline around the 20,000 mark, so 20,500 or so. So we could be talking about 1,000-point decline before this kind of impulse wave to the downside clears up. So then, like I was mentioning last week, then that would kind of form the larger neckline there at 20,000. And again, this kind of it's building towards a larger top, if you can see what I'm talking about. We get this left shoulder, wave 3, left kind of lower neckline, wave 4, the left hand head, wave 5, right neckline in wave 1 down, and right shoulder in wave 2, so that'd be kind of wave 1 and 2 in green labels here. So down into the 30-minute chart again. For next week, this is what I'll be looking for. We've got 5 waves down, 3 waves up, 5 waves down, and we should get 3 waves up, and then we'd be looking to that'd be a kind of an ideal opportunity there to start gearing for gearing on the short side there. So let's see how that plays out. This is damn interesting, and if it's true, if this is the correct way to view this structure, well then we're in for a hell of a ride coming up soon. Alright, I'm going to go to gold next. So that's the Dow. I'm going to go to gold. Yesterday I was looking at a possible 5 waves up in wave 1 and a correction in wave 2. This evening I'm kind of thinking that maybe the 5 waves is up to this point here. Today's high, so that was around 1300. We tipped 1300 and then backed off. So it's a possibility that we get, I'll just jiggle this around a bit. Live charting in front of your eyes. That's amazing, isn't it? Alright. Yeah, we had a top there at about 1300. So I can count 5 waves clear off that low here in wave 2. So this could be wave 1 pink, which would mean another decline, but the larger structure is building to a very, it should be building to quite a rally in wave 3. If that is wave 1, and we get wrong one. If that's wave 1, we get a wave 2 decline. It puts us up into 1340 for wave 3, and then a wave 4 decline, and then a wave 5. So, before you know it, you're up at 1400. So this is definitely something to watch out for here. Again, today's high will be the one to watch for next week. If we've got 1 2 1 2, then the rally in wave 3 that is to come will be substantial. It will be one to remember for a while. We're probably talking $100, if not more. Okay, so that's gold. Next week, we're looking for this wave 2 to peter out, and then wave 3 to come in and blow us away a bit. Okay, so we'll go down to the currencies. This is euro dollar. Euro dollar, it's still, it's up for grabs at the moment. Today is an incredibly quiet day for currencies. This rise here looks quite corrective. And that's what I'm sticking with right for the moment. Best counted still as a wave 1 down. A wave 1, 2 in minor degree there, pink. Wave 1, 2 at a lesser degree in grey there. So it's likely, if this is the correct count, well then we should be spilling down into wave 3 here. The correction higher does kind of suggest that, but we've corrected higher an awful lot now over the last couple of weeks. It's time to start seeing some serious declines here, and again, this support line here, 116.87 or 116.80 there. It's now formed, 1, 2. It's repelled the price 3 times, so one in pink labels, in grey labels, and yesterday in no labels, but that's 3 times that this has repelled the price. 84th if you count it here in this intermediate wave. So it's raising its head as an important level to watch, and a clear break of that level will probably hold the price below. The fact that this parallel trend channel is still being filled speaks to a corrective mode still in play. So we need to break to the downside out of this parallel trend channel. We need to start seeing impulsive moves fill out this third wave here, and I want to see this high here to stay intact, 117.89. So that's euro dollar. It's still turning. And on top of that, there could be a further degree playing out here. I mean, I might be labeling this at too low of a degree. We could be, talking about a wave 1 in brown here, and wave 2. That's something to watch out for as well. I should mention that tonight. And so if we're getting 1 2 1 2 1 2, which is again gearing up for a large decline, but first of all we need to see support give way, and we need to see a breakdown through this lower trend channel, and I want to see the price stretching to the downside, and to start filling out 5 wave structures. Okay, so pound dollar again, it came up to meet that trend channel that I was talking about last night one more time, 129.20, and has dropped off that point. So we could be moving into wave 5 of 3 here, and wave 5 of 3 should, in theory, bring us back down to meet this lower trend line here. Even if I move the trend channel up to take care of that little turning point, well then it projects about 126 to meet the trend line again. So for the alternate count here is still very much in play. We could be seeing 3 degrees of 1-2 labels to the downside. We could be seeing brown, pink, and then grey. So we could be seeing 1-2, 1-2, and then a 1-2 again before we kind of take a serious leap down, start kind of filling out 5-wave structures again. So for next week, I want to see this. I want to see the price drop down below support, meet the lower trend line, and start maybe using the trend line as a resistance rather than as a kind of a structure of support for the moment. So euro dollar and pound dollar kind of come in on the same terms. In that case, we want to see the larger. When you look at on the 4-hour chart, we have kind of come down and broken some previous some nice previous highs. So we've got the wave A high here and this internal wave A high here. So we've got the price has already broken support and pretty serious support, and we're coming in on this lower wave B here, which is if I can find it, here we go, 128.10, and that is an important price. If we look at the 4-hour chart, 128.10 down here, forgive me, 128.10 down here, a break of that support level will rule out a kind of a larger bullish interpretation that you might have been able to take. So let's see how that pans out again next week. So far this wave count has worked out really quite well off the 132.50 high. We were calling for the rise into 132.50, and since that time we've come down now almost 400 points. So I hope some of you were able to catch that. Okay, let's move on to dollar yen. Dollar yen has really kicked me in the rear end. I'll try and keep this PG. I've mentioned this before. This structure here in the middle has caused all sorts of havoc. I'm showing a new count here to account for the break of the of support today at the low, and off that low we've had a nice little bounce. So who knows? This could be the low that we're looking for. Again, the declines off the wave B high here speak nothing but correction to me. I think we have 3 waves down in A. I've relabeled this, by the way, and within this circle here is the central wave B, and it may well be a running flat. So this is the next best interpretation that I've been able to kind of come up with. So we have 3 waves down in A, 3 waves in B, and then 3 waves just complete in C, which has just met the lower trend line of this trend channel here in blue. And we can see the ABC structure. We meet the lower trend line and has bounced nicely off that trend line. Let's get down into the 30-minute chart there and see. Off the low, we have a lovely little bounce. It broke the support there by let's give it a measure here. Low of the day, 108.60. So it broke the support by about 12 points and has off that point it's rallied about 70 points since that. So again, it's all pointing to a shift in momentum to the upside. We have overlapping highs and lows again. So downside momentum is dead for the last while, but we need to get the that kind of shift of the market to the upside. Again, I had thought it had happened. This one here, there's been 3 points now where I've been looking for the turn to come in, and the slide to the downside has just broken support again. This area here was one point where I had it's a clear 5 waves up, but this corrective downside slide broke support. And then at this point here, we thought we had a clear 5 waves up, and then this slide to the downside broke support again. And at this point here, we thought we had a 5 waves up and broke support again just today. So we've had 3 kind of false flags, let's say, to indicate an upside turn. But I still think that despite the failures and the continuous break of support, the market hasn't really gone anywhere in just about a month. So I think we are looking at a juggernaut that's turning, like a very large corrective structure to the downside that wants to turn, and it's going to get its chance. The dollar is making very good kind of indications of a turn in play across the markets at this stage. So it's taking time to play out in each different market at each different degree within those markets, within euro dollar and pound dollar. We've seen upside spikes in dollar yen sooner than downturns in euro dollar. All that's really happening is it's taking time to shift its momentum. So for next week, that's exactly what I'll be looking for again, and the moment will come. And once the opportunity presents itself, it's just incumbent upon us to be ready for that opportunity. So I think that's gone through the markets. Yes, we're back to the Dow again. The Dow is probably, our stocks in general, will be one to watch next week. If this doesn't turn out to be a 3-wave correction to the downside, which I'm inclined to say it's not, well then we're in for fireworks ahead. So watch out, don't keep too much money in the bank, and let's see how this plays out. But an impulsive turn to the downside will spell, it'll spell disaster for the world economy and not just our own personal economies. Alrighty, so that's it for this week. We'll catch you all on Monday evening, and I hope you have a great weekend.